Python variables are used as containers to store different kind of values when you're writing your codes. When you're writing a piece of code, maybe for a project or to perform certain tasks, you know, there are certain times where you need to store certain values or series of values in some sort of container. And this is one of the uses of Python variables. Here we have a Jupyter notebook where we've created a document, a Python file to show Python variables. So to declare a variable, we can use some sort of letter, alpha, a sentence, a word, no, not a sentence, I mean a word, and also a combination of words and numbers. But also there are rules that guide us when we are writing Python variables. Let me declare a simple variable called maybe A. For example, A can be equals to, now if you want to say, if you want to declare the variable, you either use a single quote or you can use a double quote, okay? So let's say the variable is Emmanuel, all right? So what does this mean? If we run this and just check what A means, you see that A means Emmanuel because we've defined A here as Emmanuel, okay? The same way, the variable can also be B. So if B here is Emmanuel, if you run A will no longer be a variable. Oh, A still had the previous value it had before. That's why I remember that. But if you run B, B will now be Emmanuel, all right? So now we can also declare variable in different other ways. For example, we can declare it, let's just say we have series of test variables. Now observe something, there are different ways we can address our variable. We can decide if we have two words, for example, test is a word, variable is a word, okay? Test is a word here, variable is a word. Let's just assume we can say test variable and everything will be in small letter, okay? We can also say test to start with small letter and use an underscore to divide it. We can also say underscore test underscore variable. We can also say test variable. Now, the difference between this one and this one, the first one, the difference is that the variable here starts with capital V. So it is allowed. The same way, you can use everything as capital letter. And we can also use a combination of alphabets, that is a word and also a number. As you can see, test variable 2. So any of this format is allowed, okay? So let's run this and let's do this. Let's just assume that we want to find out what is the first variable. What is test variable? It gives you Emmanuel. Let's be testing each of them one by one. What is this? It gives you Emmanuel. What's this? It gives you Emmanuel, you know, and so on and so forth. So Emmanuel. So all of them are working as Emmanuel to show that each of them are correctly defined. These are all correctly defined variables. So by the way, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 variables are defined here. Now, for you to see that all of them don't have the same value, you can see that they all have different value. Let me declare them again. Now the difference is I'm just putting numbers there so that you can see that they all have different values. Emmanuel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I run it, so let me just do something here. Now, by the way, the print function is a basic Python function that helps you to print the values. So basically what we're trying to do here is each of these variable here, we're going to print each of them to see what values are going to come out of it. So I run the code. So you see, each of them has their unique values in -1 to -6. Now, remember, I also mentioned that if you were to declare a variable starting with a number, it's going to give you a syntax error. Now, you can also assign multiple variables as well. Let's assume you have a variable x equals to 2, y equals to 3, z equals to 4. All right. X, Y, Z, therefore will be 2, 3, and 4. So that's for that. But also, you can easily assign all these variables. You can easily assign values to them by saying 10, 30. You can also assign values to them at once as a box. So that's how you assign multiple variables. You can also assign what we call one value to many variables. Here you can say x is equals to y is equals to z is equals to maybe just whatever, just a number, random number or something. Then you can run it. Then you can see z is equals to what? What will z be? Number. What will y be? Number. What will x also be? Number. Because you assign one value to multiple variables. You can also unpack a selection of variables. How do you do that? If, for example, you have maybe fruits has this particular list, and then you have x, y, z as fruits, it means that you've assigned the values of x, y, and z to whatever is here. So let us print x, print y, and z, and let's see. So what exactly happens here is x takes on the value of apple, y takes on the value of bananas, z takes on the value of cherry. So if you print only x, it gives you this. You print y, it gives you this. You print z, it gives you this. Okay. And that's it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.